Welcome to this presentation on Khiri Travel Vietnam. My name is Stephen, and I will be sharing with you some of the insights into Khiri and what our Vietnam office can arrange for your guests. Established in 1993, Khiri has won numerous awards and earned a reputation as a destination management company with a difference. Dedicated to working with select tour operators to provide authentic, local and sustainable experiences across Asia, Khiri operates 17 offices, located in Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, Vietnam and Sri Lanka, with our Maldives destination being operated from here as well. As of February 2020, each Khiri office has been fully certified by Travelife, a sustainability certification awarded to tour operators after a rigorous observation of their systems, policies and procedures, checked by external auditors from Travelife. The three-stage Travelife process acknowledges the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, as well as corporate social responsibility guidelines. These include labour conditions, human rights, environmental responsibilities, biodiversity, and fair business practices across the company and its supply chains. Khiri Travel's aim is to be a leading brand of quality, sustainable tourism in Asia. Our vision of sharing our passion for discovery encompasses the company's collective inspiration, outlook and culture. Globally, Khiri handles over 40 source markets, with the bulk of its clients coming from Europe and the USA. We do what every destination management company can regarding accommodation and transfers, as well as offering expertise in tailored bespoke itineraries designed for your guests' enjoyment, while maintaining the key pillars of authentic, local and sustainable tourism. Our Vietnam office aims to showcase the vast diversity of this magnificent country in its services and products. From touring the many different towns and cities, to luxury cruises in the scenic Bai Tu Long area of Along Bay. Being fully certified by Travelife, Khiri Vietnam always has sustainability in mind. Please watch the following video for an insight into some of our activities. Our Vietnam offices are located in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, and our team of travel designers will help you organise a dream trip throughout. With their diverse backgrounds from all over the country, our employees are here to welcome your clients into this landscape filled with many cultures and historical locations. Vietnam covers a long stretch of land from its border with China in the north down to the Gulf of Thailand bordering Cambodia, and features 3,260 kilometres of coastline. Its size means weather in each region can be very different, and so too can the culture, with more Chinese influences in Hanoi in the north compared to the more Southeast Asian influences in the south. Visitors to Vietnam will visit the 5 H's, Hanoi, Ha Long Bay, Hue, Hoi An and Ho Chi Minh City. While operating in many of the country's regions, Khiri also accommodate guests wishing to take the usual route, but by doing so on the path less trodden. With a mix of influences from China in its old quarter and some 600 pagodas, as well as visible reminders of the time of French rule, Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, is a great place to start your journey through this remarkable country. Existing for almost over 1,000 years, traditional water puppet performances portray Vietnamese everyday life, national heroes, well-known legends, and Vietnamese folklore. accompanied by flutes, drums, and other orchestral instruments. In our private puppet show trip, guests will have the chance to experience a performance, but in a very different way. Located in a small house in the Old Quarter, Mr. Liam will set up his homemade theatre and display the traditional art in a much more personal and exclusive ambience. On our Hanoi Jeep City Explorer tour, your guide and driver will escort you through Hanoi's colonial charm in a vintage M151 US Army Jeep. We visit Hoa Lo Museum and the Military History Museum, where you can find documents on the Vietnam War, Indochina Wars, and thousands of years of war with China. The most exciting part of the trip is passing by Hanoi's crazily busy streets which are full of motorbikes, and then going through pleasant tree-lined streets dotted with small parks and historic yellow colonial-era villas. Ha Long Bay is a masterpiece of nature, where amazing rock formations create unusual shapes like a museum of natural sculptures. Thousands of islands emerge from the sea to create a vivid, breathtaking picture like you might expect to see in a postcard, and the sea always offers a beautiful blue, smooth and still surface, perfect for a day sailing and exploring the islands. The area is split into 3 bays, with Ha Long Bay's main area being rather busy with tourists. For an authentic and off-the-beaten-track experience, Khiri will steer clients towards the quieter but still just as beautiful and exciting areas as Lan Ha Bay and Bai Tu Long. If you don't fancy the highway and want to travel in style, then a private seaplane from Hanoi to Ha Long Bay will tick all the right boxes. Not only is the flight from Noi Bai Airport to Ha Long Bay an amazing experience on its own, once you arrive, the awe-inspiring aerial view of the bay and the landing in the bay itself feels like a once-in-a-lifetime event. On our James Bond and Ha Long Bay tour, enjoy the high life on board a private yacht or speedboat, with a personal crew tailoring the trip to your every need. Sit back, relax and indulge as you experience the thrilling topography of this UNESCO World Heritage Site from the deck of absolute luxury. An ancient capital, a centre of arts and religion in Vietnam, and a significant battlefield of the American War, Hue is the epitome of the old meeting the new. The city splits almost in half by the Perfume River, where the old town sits on the north bank and the modern district to the south. Get a taste of what real life is like in Hue. Our guides have grown up here and will teach guests through the eyes of a real local. Hear stories of their childhood, the war, and their families. Learn about the creative streak that runs through the heart of the city, and explore parts of the city that are often overlooked. We will also receive a blessing from the monks at Tien Mu Pagoda, travel along the calming Perfume River by boat, and have a local lunch by the walls of the Citadel, before ending the tour with a visit to the home of the descendants of the royal court. Within this stunning home and garden, listen to the stories of this once powerful family history. This tour is an immersive experience, where the focus is on the people and the stories behind what makes this city a delight to discover. Our wet rice culture and rural life immersion trip will first start with a cycling tour of Tan Toan village. This tour has been designed to show the deep-rooted history of Vietnam's wet rice culture. Learn about an old village's administration, its typical culture and institutions, and experience a working but fun day as a local farmer. From farming, fishing, cooking a home meal, and making local handicrafts. Due to its central location on the east coast of Southeast Asia, Hoi An used to be an international trade centre in the 16th and 17th centuries. It was the busiest trading port in the Dang Trong region of Vietnam, as merchants from many countries such as Japan, China, Portugal, Spain and Holland often stopped to exchange and purchase commodities. Today, a visit to Hoi An would be incomplete without experiencing the old town. On our cooking class in the market experience, we visit Hoi An's colourful and bustling central market by boat, in small groups with an English-speaking tour guide. Learn about the uses of different fresh noodles, how to recognise and buy fresh fish, fresh and dried spices, fresh herbs, and their uses in our recipes and medicinal purposes. We then visit the market restaurant by boat, where you will be guided around the many live food counters in this unique, first-of-its-kind interactive dining venue in Vietnam. Here you can see, hear, taste, touch, and interact with the many different food-making processes. After the lesson, we all sit down and eat what we have cooked, and you will receive a copy of the recipes and a Vietnamese cooking utensil to take home. On our Hoi An sunset cruise, head to a nearby pier by jeep and board your boat that will take you to a local fishing village. Enjoy delicious freshly prepared foods accompanied by smoothies, juices, or local beers, and enjoy the sunset on Tu Bon River while cruising back to Hoi An. The river and surrounding countryside are bathed in orange and provide stunning photo opportunities. Ho Chi Minh City, formerly known as Saigon, is Vietnam's largest city, and relatively young, as its history is only 300 years old. Today, it is very much the heart of the Vietnamese business world. That being said, the city still retains its connections to the past, particularly in Cho Lon, Ho Chi Minh's Chinatown. Here, dozens of elegant temples and pagodas can be found. The French also left their mark with fine colonial-era buildings, such as Notre Dame Cathedral and the Central Post Office. Getting off the beaten track in downtown Saigon is no easy task. One of the best ways is getting lost in the endless alleyways that crisscross the city. Down some of these, we have discovered a number of incredible little watering holes that take you back to a forgotten era, as well as showing you the new modernity of Saigon, with eclectic choices of cocktails and signature drinks. We will take you to a few of our favourites, to sample the incredible specialty drinks, listen to some live music, and soak up the classic ambience in our Speakeasy Experience tour. On our Cu Chi Tunnels by Speedboat tour, travel like a VIP, and arrive hours before the large buses of tour groups at the famous Cu Chi Tunnels historical site. Along the way, you will be served a light breakfast of pastries, sandwiches, and fruit before arriving at the site. During the tour, an English-speaking guide will introduce you to life along the banks of the Saigon River, as your boat gracefully slips through the knots of floating water hyacinths on this scenic boat trip. After a short documentary, your guide will lead you through the historical region of Cu Chi, ducked by resourceful guerrilla fighters to provide supply routes, hospitals, food, and weapons caches during numerous conflicts. A traditional Vietnamese lunch or dinner of local specialties like lemongrass chicken and caramelized clay pot pork will be served after your visit to the tunnels. As well as the popular 5H's route, Khiri hosts our unique experiences in other regions. Sapa is an incredibly picturesque area that lies in a mountain range near the Chinese border in northwestern Vietnam, known as the Tonkinese Alps. Sapa and its surrounding region is host to many hill tribes, as well as rice terraces, lush vegetation, and Fansipan, the highest peak in Vietnam. On our full day to Topaz Riverside tour, we head to the most remote part of Sapa to explore the natural life of ethnic minority groups living in the mountains. Have lunch in a remote but beautiful village of the Red Dao minority in a comfortable riverside lodge. The tour will commence with a transfer deeper into the Hoang Lien National Park to the trek starting point near Sin Chai village. Enjoy the beautiful views of the high mountains, waterfalls, and the deep valleys. Accompanied by your guide, you will explore the village and learn how the local villagers make writing paper with rice, silver jewellery, and colourful embroidery. South of Hanoi, Ninh Binh province is blessed with natural beauty, cultural sites, and resides in the Red River Delta of northern Vietnam. On our first ancient capital tour, depart for Tam Quoc Grottos and take the boat to enjoy the spectacular scenery while gliding along the river amongst rice paddies and ranges of limestone mountains. Have lunch at a local restaurant, after which visit Hoa Lu, the ancient capital, and the two remaining temples of King Din and King Lei. Guests can also hike to the top of Ma Yen Mountain for a panoramic view of Sao Khe River and Truong Yang village. Khiri Vietnam also take guests to regions such as Mai Chau, Da Lat, Quy Non, Moi Nei, and Cam To to experience the many surprising sceneries the country has to offer, while still maintaining their focus on personalised, authentic experiences. The people we interact with on our experiences are what can turn our tours into lifelong memories. Our personalities are not only our guides, experts, and entertainers, but also have a story to tell that relate to the unique experiences our clients can undertake. Every personality on our trips that our guests engage with play their part in the history, culture, arts, or religion of the country, providing a real insight not regularly found in guidebooks, and are available to meet guests either on our day trips and unique experiences, or for a simple chat over a coffee or a glass of wine. One of our unique personalities was a young man, studying at an engineering college when he was sent to flight school in Russia. He returned as only one of 120 qualified pilots, and took to the skies to defend his country. Listen to his incredible story, and spend time with him in his home, looking through old photographs, books, and testimonials of his courage and bravery. His war stories are fascinating, but his story of post-war life is even more so, being reunited not only with the pilot that he shot down, but with the US Air Force pilot that also shot him down. More than 40 years after the war has ended, they have now become the best of friends in this heartwarming story. Guests will be able to enter this residential neighbourhood of Hanoi, drink tea, and immerse themselves in this unforgettable encounter. Join a Vietnamese Kung Fu Grandmaster to learn about the history of the martial art at the school that he learned from, that his master then passed on to him. discover his work with the local community, and enjoy a traditional cup of tea after he has given you a demonstration of his skills. The charming Grand Master and his family welcome guests into their home, hidden away down the backstreets of Hoi An in this unique opportunity. As an internationally renowned photographer, Raihan has travelled extensively throughout Vietnam, capturing the cultural and ethnic minority communities with his camera, but also witnessing firsthand the fragility of their cultural heritage. Having met 45 of the 54 ethnic groups in Vietnam, he has created lasting relationships with them. His museum of images, traditional costumes, and everyday items is a spectacular showcase of their cultures, which he strives to bring to a wider audience. Raihan will tell you stories of his travels and encounters with the minority tribes over a cup of coffee outside of his gallery in the city of Hoi An. Thank you for watching this presentation. For more information on our Vietnam destinations, please contact sales.vietnam@khiri.com. For any assistance from our UK office, please contact Stephen@khiri.com. Information on who Khiri Travel are and our other destinations can also be found on our website at khiri.com. Thank you.